Welcome back to Let's Play Stasis, and something hissed at me the moment I logged in and kind of jarred me. Okay, we clicked that, we clicked that. I still don't quite get what's up with the power cells. Every room has had one. I'm sure there's something I should do with that, but for the time being, I'm gonna run this way. What was that? Sink. Stainless steel sink stands out of successive levels of stuff you've traversed. It's equipped with a variety of cleaning agents that are presumably safe for skin. You can't see me. Why don't I get any flavor text for you? I'm gonna watch and see what it does. It's going to turn and shoot me, isn't it? Gracious, that scared the daylights out of me. I thought it was. Okay. Shiny thing that I forgot to click.
A defibrillator. And it looks like it's fully charged.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can She's trying to communicate, but her words are little more than slurred vowels. Her throat is dry and she's clearly extremely weak.
These women must have families and lives.
You can't do anything for them now. Soon this ship will run out of oxygen. They won't be in pain for much longer.
And a second in this place is more torture than anyone should bear.
I got a bandage. Can I get more bandage? Hello. Can I have your bandage too?
Don't worry. I'm here. I'm gonna help you. Soon you'll be out of here. This is just a bad dream. Just breathe in and out. Soon you'll wake up from this.
Okay. Can I defibrillate the robot? I haven't. Yeah, that's never gonna work. Yeah, I can't move. I'm waiting for it to turn around so I can go to the other lab. Actually, it's in my best interest for me to save. Did you move while I was in the menu, or did you just completely It resets its position when you go into the menu. That is slightly exploitable. Can I defibrillate the sink?
I think that would break.
It'd break one of us. Slug gun.
I can try to make it fit, but it may break.
Can I clean the bandages? The answer is yes. The answer is no. The answer is I don't know what's going on anymore. Okay, dirty bandage clog. Oh, I see. We're gonna flood the place. Or we're gonna zappy zap the robot with the defibrillator. Liquid from the overflowing sink is splashed onto the floor, pooling on the polished floor. Oh, Mr. Roboto. Go to sleep now. Sentry robot sits motionless.
God, I just hate it. Got it.
What did I got? I wanted to read it. Give me back my mouse. Sentry robot sits motionless as a wisp of smoke twirls from the burning CPU. It was not ink this time. Again, I really need to get back to muting that. I used to unplug that phone before I recorded, and then many days went by where recording went flawlessly with no noise. And then I stopped unplugging it, and well, bleh. Elevator platform? Platform, you say? Button. I'm gonna assume that I don't want to touch that. but I should be sure. Oh, okay. Thought maybe it was going to just slice me if I touched it. Power pad.
Warning. The oxygen atmosphere generating system is no longer functioning. Product failure is imminent.
Wait, if it provides a power boost, can I use...
Nah, that's ridiculous.
Can I shoot the door? This is a horrible plan. Why did I shoot the airlock? Why am I shooting an airlock? Oh wait, I have a liquid nitrogen canister. Can I put that against the door and then shoot it? Why is this suddenly all working in my favor and letting me do horribly dangerous things? Let's blow an airlock. I'm sure that's perfectly safe on the surface of Neptune. And we die to a vacuum. No, we're not. Nope, discovery made. Neptune is breathable. Or this is just a bulkhead between two sections of the ship and not an exterior airlock, which would still be an airlock. It looks like a little... it looks kind of like an alien. I mean, like the stereotype alien. Anyway, moving on. Where am I? I am... John... Okay, John is there. PDA terminal. Healthy organism. Hybrid. It has fallen from the operating table and only to crawl around in aimless peregrination. No doubt delirious. But it has a PDA! And it's making horrifying sounds. Am I gonna have to mute you? Oh, Francis, I lie awake at night thinking of you. You haunt my dreams, my nightmares, and my fantasies. We found love, dear, even when we worked in Kane's Sydney lab, creating viral strains that could turn a human inside out. We loved. Well, ours was a match made in heaven. We worked only on the most exciting viruses and pathogens, and our work together was a Mozart requiem, and I hear you screaming in the background. Piece of perfection. My work now is a pale imitation of what it once was, oh Francis. How long ago was it now? It must have been 10 years, but it feels like only yesterday. We were too sick. You were too sick to transfer onto the Groom Lake when I did. You died just as I took up my post. But don't fret, my angel. I've begun concocting a way of bringing you back to life. I always called you my little Frankenstein, do you remember? Shredding the boundary between life and death was always your ultimate goal. Well now, with Project Seed entering its second phase, my plan can finally be put into practice. My laboratories are off limits between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., so that's when I work. Naturally, I prepare all the calculations of machine settings in my quarters. I keep the subject under a false name in one of the pods. So far, not even Dr. Milan knows what I'm doing. Each major laboratory operation I perform takes no more than an hour, and I always erase the machine records at the end of each one. I'm using your DNA, my darling. With the enhanced regenerative abilities of the genetic material we've already synthesized for Seed, you will be reborn. But you'll be impervious to physical degeneration, immune to sickness and pain. I'll have done what you've wanted and made you perfect, and when you step healthy, unblemished, and reconstituted from your glass womb, you'll never leave me again. Two problems with your theory. One, you'll have regrown a clone copy from the genetic material, but it wouldn't have any of his memories. Two, even if it did, it would see you as flawed because you would not be healthy, unblemished, and reconstituted, so then it would likely either kill you in order to repeat the process on you, or just generally kill you, because that's usually how these sorts of horror movie things play out. Things have felt strange lately. My work continues, but I swear, darling Francis, I can feel you watching me. I'm trying to work longer hours to complete the new reborn you, but it's not easy. Marvin has already had a look at some of my work. I'm sure as if he'd have any concept of what I'm trying to achieve. Anyway, I still wonder, my darling, why you cursed me as you died. You know it was an accident. I know you remember that. It wasn't murder. I've never committed a murder, not even when I tested that pathogen on those troublesome neighbors. It was an experiment. How are we to know they'd choked to death on their own innards? I suppose death was a possibility, but that's science. I fear for your continued life. I'm afraid Milan knows. Who else knows? Have they contaminated you? We'll run extra tests to make sure your code is not flawed or altered in any way. I'm anxious. I've started scratching my arms badly. At this rate, it'll end up looking like that leprous toad Backman. Oh, my dearest Francis, I have failed you. Milan knows. He confronted me about it directly. He wants me to make you just like them. I cannot have you crawling on all fours like some dog in the street. The very idea offends me. I will protect you with my life. You will be reborn. I swear this on my life. Hello, little hybrid critter. Don't eat me. Terminal. Oh, good. Subject Lana. Rambunctious, subject appears to have inherited her mother's powerful physical build and latent aggression. Lana has the makings of an excellent alpha female candidate. Move Lana to group cell as isolation appears to promote irritability. Quiet but intelligent. Attempted to pick the lock on his cell yesterday but failed to escape. Excellent puzzle solving skills, and while not especially aggressive, has a strong build. A thinker, clearly. Subject shows little of his mother's solid frame, but is a superb hunter. Stalks and learns tactics by observing the others. Appears to be developing a strong tactical mind. That's a worrying sound. Oh! Host, Ellen Marichek. One to watch, cunning, extraordinarily fast and dangerous. Appears to prefer isolation as attempted pairings result in fatalities. Takes an alpha role easily, dominates the other novi. Excellent candidate for Lana's mate. Wait, but this is Lana. How does Lana be Lana's mate? Are there multiple Lanas now? Oh dear, that's his wife. That explains the gasp. Appears immobile, but his heads frequently scan the room. The creature strains at its bindings. It seems healthy, though judging by the fury in its eyes, it's far from pleased. Yeah, let's go over to it. What could possibly go wrong?
This shit is straight out of the eugenics war. I taught this in my history class. All of this research will be lost. Does that mean that this was for nothing?
For nothing.
Emaciated star, the body is wasted away at a little more than sinew.
They're almost human, especially their eyes.
Don't get too close.
It's tiny, clinging onto life only by the finest thread. It's not a pleasant sight to watch something go so small on the fine line between life and death. Both bodies barely show signs of life. It's moving, but it seems to be unaware of its surroundings, or it could have simply accepted its fate. Frighteningly thin creature, courtesy of Kane Corporation. Machinery has been shut off and tucked out of the way. I guess we go to the next room. I should have saved. I've just got the little DNA spiraling icon in the top right. Oh, good. Okay, but yeah. I'm gonna save before I even deign to question what on earth is going on there. Strapped down. That is not strapped down. That is... Oh, that's a hologram. Okay. Okay, I thought it was being electrified and levitating and doing horrible eldritch things. Creature squirms in its medical restraints. Great black eyes and a sunken gray face glare with malice. Mainframe computer? Oh, guess not. PDA? I guess that's where we're going.
Don't go any further. I'm warning you now.
I'm worried that...
How could you do this?
I do with my children as I see fit.
Oh, he thinks he's...
Barbaric.
Spare me the pity of the righteous. Your daughter owes her life to me.
What do you know about Rebecca?
I think that is.
Energy was good on this ship, Mr. Marichek. Cancer, HIV, Ebola. I eliminated them all. Her life is mine to do as I choose. Oh yes, I know about everything, Johnny boy. I know about your daughter and all about your wife. You are accountable.
Jan, his signal, John. You need to hurry. We're close.
PDA time. Away! The new year begins. Oh, it's Milan's PDA. The wheel turns, and the Groomlight continues to lead the vanguard of scientific discovery for all of humankind. Yet I feel dissatisfied. Even as the peons who work under me celebrate the new year, I wonder why. Why would you celebrate such an asinine concept as an outdated Gregorian calendar on a ship that's currently swimming through the depths of space? The reason is clear. Comfort. They fear the unknown, the alien, the impossible. I do not. I embrace the unforgiving cosmos with open arms. The problem with the research we do is humans doing it, constrained as they are by conscience, remorse, and sometimes fear. We try to grasp the infinite and give it a framework that ill-fits its cosmic splendor. This is my 10th year as Special Projects Director for Kane Corporation. Despite my discoveries and my quest for knowledge, I'm held back at every turn by paperwork, moralizing scientists, and that group of degenerate toadies that I sit on the board with. If I were to be rid of them, then my word would be God. My word, not the word of a corporation. Still, they have their uses. Their research is funded by Kane, and the Groomlights kept running by the money and personnel they provide. But the time will come when all this changes. Mark my words. I told you the man's got a God complex. I'm inundated with emails from all departments about inconsistencies with storage and contaminated samples. This grand masquerade is sometimes more tedious than it's actually worth. Worst of all was Dr. Way and that technician, Miss Callister. I'd normally make short work of such troublemakers, but it hardly seems worthwhile. Troublemakers must be allowed to make trouble, because if they disappear, that legitimizes their claims, and somebody will always take up the fallen Crusader's torch. Dr. Bachman's tendencies are becoming harder to restrain. I'm well aware of his shortcomings. The old man is as brilliant as he is deranged, yet manages to go about his work with a sociopathic glee. He's useful to have around. He's requested more bodies for seed, specifically more women who are recently pregnant. That is problematic, as we have very few such women on board, and imports are not easy to come by. May have to play this one under the radar. That fool Dr. Gray complained yet again about his beloved insects becoming more aggressive as a result of the power outages. So what? Let them spill out onto the decks as far as I'm concerned. The importance of seed outranks the hydroponics project work by 1,000 to 1. I do like playing chess with Dr. Gray, of course. I win every time, a fact he's unlikely to tell anyone. Although he does seem quite happy to contact anyone who's interested with the opinion that he'd be the next best candidate for my job. Sebastian, you could not handle what I do. If you believe otherwise, you're as great a fool as I imagine you to be. When the day that I foresee comes, your rotting corpse will be under my feet, and I will laugh. Dr. Williams is still under the delusion that I don't know about her personal research. Officially, it's illegal for staff to conduct their own research. Officially, it's illegal for you to be doing a lot of what you're doing, sir, so I don't think you got any room to judge. This is interesting. Recreating her dead lover in the form of a hybrid? How fascinating. If it works, I'll make use of it. If it doesn't, then it'll burn with the rest of the rejects. The woman is obsessed, and I know that DeSantos is playing no small part in feeding her delusions. I know her secret research project won't cause me any problems, or I would never have allowed her on Project Seed. So it seems contaminated waste from the corpse disposal overfill is contaminating the ship. It's causing fungal growths, so my various drones tell me. Fungus is a riveting proposition, though. While I'm angry at Dr. Bachman for terminating more subjects than strictly necessary, these unintended side effects are fascinating. I intimated as much to Dr. Gray, and of course stroked his ego with hints of promotion and glory. He'll keep the fungus alive. The engineers want it destroyed, but I'm sure we can delay that. This experiment is becoming more engaging by the day, and I haven't even had to lift a finger. So while they clog up my inbox with demands and Rome burns, I plan to play the violin. We're more than secure here anyway. And this has a certain inevitability about it. I must record the daily development as the experiment grows. It is as I foresaw. Panic, destruction, and mayhem. And yet Seed continues apace. Once the fervor and the flame die down, we'll sweep the decks of detritus and repurpose all of it for my beautiful hybrid creations. No more growing plants for the good of mankind. God is no longer in the machine, my friends. I'm not repeating that statement. My beautiful children have excelled themselves. They kill, they learn, they adapt. A primal species without any of the trappings of morality. It's their time now. They almost came to be once, many years ago, but were snuffed out by humanity, afraid of its natural successor. There is nothing natural about the successor you built in a lab, but, I mean, you don't use the term natural successor when it was something that didn't naturally occur. It'd be their unnatural successors. This systematic extermination was given a name, the Eugenics Wars. The public knew it as a corporate warfare. In truth, it was coordinated genocide. Humanity wasn't ready for Professor Jaren's astounding discovery and sought to destroy it. His work was not perfect, of course. That's where I came in. I spent most of my life as part of Kane, trying to access Professor Jaren's original work. Old Man Kane pushed me to the top because we shared an ideal, the utilization of science for the perfection of humanity. Where we differed were the methods by which this would be achieved. Not that he had much more to say after I held that pillow to his face as he lay in his hospital bed, all for a higher purpose. Creation of our species from raw subjects will become impossible now that the crew are dead, dying, or unclean. That's hardly an issue. All subjects who are flawed or imperfect have been turned into the fertilizer that will nurture the perfection of the surviving race. Now the challenge is moving Groom Lake out of range of any other ships. No one can be allowed to escape this ship alive. Any good, strong survivors will become members of the new race. I am their creator. I control. I transcend. DeSantos, I'm so very disappointed in you. A distress signal? I thought you were one of them. I thought we were of one mind here in Seed. I'll castrate and destroy you for this betrayal. Your flawed body is hardly worthy of becoming one of my children, but for now I must turn off this accursed signal. You cannot hide from me, Marvin, you drug-peddling little twerp. Okay then. On to the other PDA! Lincoln. I'd been reassigned to investigate the disappearance and murder of 2 scientists at the employ of Dr. Milan. A strange matter, to be sure. I've been observing the movements of some of these eggheads, and I can't say that I'm too impressed. Doesn't anybody around here record their comings or goings? Or make any notes? There is no traditional organization in this department whatsoever. Project Seed answers to nobody, this I know, but I thought these scientific types always made notes. Not that I care about administration, but I very much care about finding out who's selling weapons-grade secrets. Industrial secrets are a matter of life and death, and especially death. In this case, my investigation will be thorough, and no stone will be left unturned. The staff here are strange, and in fact, I'll say lots of them are even crazy. But I couldn't care less about that. I just want names and answers. I get this job because I get things done, not because of my warm and caring personality. At the moment, people are taking umbrage to my investigation, but security is a constant, essential part of shipboard life, especially when we're talking about industrial espionage. I'm not sure where the 2 missing scientists are, but it seems, based on the modified records I found, they were killed and ejected into space. Any other man would assume these 2 were the criminals, but I don't buy that. As far as suspects go, I've ruled out Charlotte Williams and Marvin DeSantos. Charlotte because she doesn't know where she is half the time, and DeSantos because he's just a smirking idiot. I'm confident that he's involved in drug dealing, and I will give him this. He's cautious and acts like he's a real ladies' man, but I know the truth. I've seen him rejected repeatedly at the bar. Since July, I've had to operate under the pretense that I am an assistant. It's lucky that in my career I've had some emergency room experience. The only other person who knows about my true purpose here is Dr. Milan, and he's been encouraging. He's constantly supplying me with information that I require for my investigation, and at times a little over-helpful. Still, he seems honest enough. For the record, I'm well aware of the kind of man Dr. Milan is. I've seen his experiments with my own eyes. I've seen what happens when the bodies are disposed of and the burning fires of the furnaces. But he does what's required to justify the means. There are a few men in this world that will do what has to be done. For that, I admire him. He told me to watch over Dr. Williams' experiment. It seems they're unofficial, and although I prepared a report to Kane to have her removed from her position, Dr. Milan immediately overrode my request. I respect him, but to be honest, I don't like having my authority overruled. Bachman, of all people, was sniffing around today. It seems the old psychopath suddenly became curious. I asked Dr. Milan for further instructions, and he told me to incapacitate the old man. This I did. Shame I had to break the old guy's kneecaps. Honestly, I was hoping to slit his throat, but Dr. Milan insisted that he remain alive. Alive and in pain, but unable to move. I'm revising my earlier opinion of that DeSantos character. I still think he's pathetic, but I now believe he was partly responsible for some of the stolen information. He strikes me as an amateur put up to this by an outside agent. I'll deal with DeSantos soon, but first I've got to monitor his movements. Make one move, pal, and I'll have you. Dr. Milan has earmarked me for one of his experiments. I know this because when I attempted to leave the ship to report to Kane Corp, I discovered my access was restricted and blocked. Came back to my quarters and found Milan waiting here. He was waiting with 2 of those creatures he's created. I'm not squeamish, but those things make me nauseous. I'm currently awaiting what he calls processing. I suppose at this stage I should make peace with God. I've killed many men in my life and never said that I felt remorse for it. Oh, and I'll never say. It won't give Dr. Milan the satisfaction of hearing me pray for mercy. My last notes on the affair are that Dr. Milan himself was at the heart of the events on board the ship. I was blind to it. I refused to believe he was capable of creating such devastation. I always thought that scientists liked control, but Milan breaks all the rules as far as science is concerned. He leaked information, the fungal growth, the missing leaked information, the fungal growth, the missing scientist. I mean, I suspect he even knew what DeSantos was actually selling intelligence and may have fed him the information to sell. To what end, I don't know. I suspect it's because DeSantos kept Bachman drugged to the eyeballs with whatever powerful stimulants he happened to have so Bachman could continue his work. I can hear the machines being turned on. I welcome my fate. At least I know that I did my job. Oh yes, that'll comfort you, and whatever. Okay, we've read all the things. Now is the time to save and to click this thing. Hello. Why are you going? Let's go all the way around, I suppose. Surgical laser. What am I doing in here? What is... I'm gonna hazard a guess.
It doesn't work like that.
Okay, good to know.
I don't think that'll work.
Am I even supposed to have that, or did I find a loophole in the game that let me keep an
That's
extra?
just crazy.
Can I shoot the computers?
No, crazy.
Can I jam the metal in the computers? Observation. Well, there's a blinking light. Why am I neat? Oh good, Samantha didn't come running at me. Why can't I go up here? Monitors? Did the PDAs have any options I didn't read? Nope. Nope. No, back. Life support machinery.
I can't see it working like that.
Oh yeah, jamming twisted metals into life support machinery typically does something.
Try to make it fit, but it may break. I think that would just break it.
Oh, open power cell housing. Oh! Maybe. There were 3 areas with power cells. Oh yeah, I gotta go downhill. Maybe I use the twisted metal to pry the power cells up.
It doesn't work like that.
Oh, yes it does. It doesn't? Really? Is that a terminal I haven't poked? Terminal, what do you do? Oh goodness, more stuff to read. We're fairly close to the 30-minute point, so I'm not going to start reading that. I'm going to go ahead and pause here. I will see you next time.